Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course.
Take it away, Brad. What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about hamstrings, Bob. We're going to talk about injuries to hamstrings because it is probably one of the muscle groups that gets injured more commonly than others.
Especially a lot of times the weekend athlete as you get older.
You better believe it. So what do you do to prevent it? And we need to strengthen it. We can stretch it, and we'll talk a little bit about stretching it, but I want to talk about a key strengthening exercise that's going to help prevent this. And this is proven by a Dr. Brian Heiderscheit. He's a...
Sounds like a good German.
You better believe it. He's actually at the University of Wisconsin right now.
All right, I see that.
That's where he studies. He got his doctorate out on the East Coast.
Okay.
Actually, he went to school at UWL for his BS in physical therapy. Yeah, he was a year ahead of me.
Nice.
But he really has done a lot of good studies on hamstring injury and how to prevent them through exercise. So,
let's get started.
Let's talk about hamstrings. What are they?
They're muscles that run from the butt bone all the way down and attached to the lower leg.
Right. And they're biarticulate, so they actually cross the hip joint and the knee joint, which actually puts a little more stress on them. And I think that's one of the reasons why injury is there. I can't, that wasn't part of his study, but it is a unique part of that muscle group. And there's three big muscles that do it. We don't have to get into the names of the three, but there's three big muscles there, and they're responsible for doing this.
Right.
They're also responsible when you bend forward. They keep your head from falling down between your knees and going right back and forth like a pendulum.
Okay.
They do that. They're involved with pushing. They're involved with running. There's a number of. It's just amazing how they work.
A lot of people call this sprinter's muscle.
Sprinter's muscle.
That's the one you see a lot of people running to first base, and they often
they
pull up
because
they pulled it.
You better believe it. So I remember once Barry Sanders, the great running back, he tore his strained hand, and they showed him running, and right when you could see it, his whole body just flinched a little bit.
So how do we do the exercise, Brad?
All right.
Nancy's going to throw us a ball. Boom, boom. All right.
Excellent. Okay, so what it boils down to, I'm not going to get into details, but it's an eccentric strengthening of the hamstring. So let's go through concentric and eccentric. If I'm going to strengthen my bicep, that muscle right there. This is concentric, and eccentric is going down.
So you're strengthening it as the muscle is actually lengthening.
Right. So you don't really need to understand that, but I'll show you an exercise that does do that using a simple tool like this.
A physio ball.
You bet. You can pick these up for $20 or so or less. You get them on sale. Walmart, Kmart, Amazon.com, wherever you like to do your shopping. And I like this exercise because you start out laying on your back and you can relax a little bit and take a nap. Okay, enough of that though. Alright, so here we go. Start like this. Hamstrings are going to go to town, not by laying here and not by doing this, but right now when I pull that ball up to here, I can feel those muscles working.
Now that's concentric.
That's concentric. So
it's shortening.
Right. Now this is the key, going down. You're going to do this slow and meaningful all the way to full extension, and then come back up, and then go down. So you are doing both of it, but this is...
So again, this is the best hamstring strengthening exercise to prevent injury.
Right, to prevent those pulled hamstrings.
You're feeling a lot of stress on the leg as you're going down.
Right, and you can walk it up to... I find you need to do this with shoes on, because if you use bare feet, you can, but this grips in. Now, as you get stronger, I'm going to do 10 to 15 of these. Right now, I do these every morning. I do 3 sets of 10 to 12. And by that third set, my hamstrings are feeling it. If you are one of those macho guys, women wouldn't do this, but macho guy with a big ego says, oh, I need the strongest one. If you need that, then try this. And go up like this. And then you are strong like bull. That really is a tough exercise to do. 3 sets of 10, I would throw some hamstrings stretching in before or after that. I like to do this one.
Sure. Good posture.
Yeah, gently stretch forward. But you can do other hamstring stretches of your favorite. We're not going to get into those right now. And again, this is for people 40 and over, but I would not have my grandmother doing this who's using the cane. This is for active people.
Active athletes, maybe.
Right, if you're cross-country skier, you're a runner.
Softball players, something like that.
You bet. Water skiing.
Still basketball, maybe.
So I think you really should subscribe to it, because we will give you more hints like this from now until eternity. Well, maybe not that long, Bob.
And remember, Brad, we're not just pretty.
We're pretty ugly.
Oh, we're pretty old.
Oh, that meant so.
Good luck out there.